Hello everybody and welcome back to Everything Studio. I'm sorry it's been a little while since I've been able to make a video. I actually came down with COVID. I'm all better now and I just have a little bit of a stuffy nose, so bear with me. I want to talk today about the top 5 noob mistakes and questions that I get asked and I hear and all over the place. So let's clear up a couple things. Number 1, I'm going to say file management. File management is probably one of the hugest problems that I see out there. You have new people working on a project and they'll call me up and say, hey, I was working on this project at home and I spent weeks and weeks and weeks on this one song and it sounded great, and I went to open it and it said it was corrupt or whatever it is. File management, know where it saves on your computer, learn how it saves on your computer. Where is your audio stored? Is it stored in the same folder? Is it stored in other folders? Can you consolidate? Best thing to do is I save multiple states. So on my DAW, I have autosave. So autosave every 10 minutes or every 10 moves. Not only do I have autosave, I also go and save it. When I feel like I got a decent amount of work done, or when I'm like, this is awesome, I save a new state. That way there, I can always go back. Or maybe the band is like, hey, you know what? The mix you made 2 days ago sounds better than the mix you made today, or whatever it is. I can look at the dates on the files. Okay, that's the date. Boom, open it up. What do they like different? So that's a huge thing. Number 2, I'm going to say plugins. There are people out there that just have an abundance of plugins and they think just because they have all these plugins, they're going to use all these plugins. You need to use the right tool for the right job. Don't just slap on a whole bunch of plugins and just start messing with buttons. That's cool and all. If you're practicing and experimenting, yes, that's awesome. You should be doing that. But when it comes time to actually make a proper mix, there's no reason to do that. When you're making a mix and you start to get more on a professional level, you're gonna already know what the problem is, and you're gonna know how to solve it already, and you're gonna know exactly what tool to pick up to give you that result. That's when you know you have enough experience behind you where you can start making some good mixes. So number 3 that I see with a lot of new mistakes is that there's a lot of muddy mixes out there, and by mud is a very it's a difficult thing to kind of fix. So first of all you need some decent monitors where you know where to look. So it's going to be anywhere from around 200 to 350 or somewhere in the low mid section. And if you take away too much mud, or if your cue is too wide, now you're taking away all the warmth and all the nice good glue stuff in the bottom. So trying to find where isn't pleasing in the mix and cutting away the mud, probably around, I find it to be around 275, 300 sometimes. It really depends. And then you might take away like that big hugeness of a bass guitar and you're like, well, it sounds cleaner and clearer, but I'm also taking away some of the warmth. So that's a very tricky subject to master, but once you master it, it's going to be awesome. Now, number 4 that I always see a lot of problems with is, now with our day and age, a lot of people mix and master their own stuff, and I'm not a huge fan of mastering a lot of work. If I have just a band in here just to get something done, we get something done, I'll master it. But if they're sending it off to their record company, or their record company is paying for their whole project, you want to send that off to a proper mastering engineer and getting it mastered properly. People when they do professional mastering, it's a lot different than it comes to mixing. I can do really good masters, but by all means, I am never gonna say, I am designed to be a mastering engineer. That is not what I am designed to do. I do mix engineering and recording and production. So if you're really serious about your music, yes, get in the studio and get it all done. But if you're even more serious than that, send it off to a proper mastering engineer. They will do you justice and do a great job and just make the music just dance in front of your face. So please use a mastering engineer. Okay, now number 5. I always hear people talk about what DAW do I use. So if people are asking about what DAW to use, I find that to be a little bit of a problem. It's not really about what DAW to use. All the DAWs are gonna do essentially the same thing. They're just routing audio in and out, and the interface is a little bit different. Pro Tools has been around for forever, and they're kind of the industry standard because that's what most people use. And I will say this. So the thing that I like to use, I have Pro Tools, I have other DAWs. I don't really use Pro Tools. I use Pro Tools when I know I'm going to be in a collaborative effort working on a project. So if I'm working overseas on a project and I know that studio has Pro Tools, I'll use Pro Tools. When it's just me, I use my Sonar. I like Sonar. It's really all about preference. If you're just starting out, I would recommend literally just getting something free online that you could maybe have like just a 2-track, a 4-track, or whatever. It'll probably give you some minimal things. Learn what the audio does. Mess around for a little bit. Once you feel more comfortable, start getting into something a little bit more serious, a more professional DAW. The DAW is not going to give you a sound. You are not going to put in Logic the same song and then put in Pro Tools the same song and hear something different. Now, if you adjust settings and change settings like bit depth, sample rate, and all that stuff, maybe you'll notice a little bit of a difference. But when it comes, it's not going to affect when you hit the record button. It's going to matter of your microphone, your placement, the mic pre's that you choose to use. It's about your environment. It's that all that stuff is what's gonna really matter, not what the DAW is. So don't be worried about trying out free DAWs or demos or whatever it is. You come in to find something that suits you on how you feel comfortable with. You like the way it looks, the interfacing and all that stuff. Go with that DAW. Stick to that DAW. And you will learn that DAW, and it'll be great. But that's all I have for today. I just wanted to keep it short and sweet. I could do all of these tutorials and how to make this awesome and that, but you know what? There's so many good videos out there on YouTube. There's really no point in me doing all that stuff. I'm sure I'll find a couple of things to touch on, but I like being able to talk to you and be able to have a conversation. Hopefully I'll be able to stream live at some point and be able to explain, I guess kind of like philosophy and theory about the recording studio, and it's not we do this, it's why do we do this, why do we do that, why would I change that? That's what ultimately people should want to know, is the theory behind it. Why am I doing this? Not because someone told me to EQ 250 hertz and boost 7K and I'm going to get this nice sparkly thing. No, because there's so many different variables with that. How close is the mic? Is the proximity effect a factor on that mix? How much do you have to take away? What's too much? What's too little? How's my environment? There's so many factors, and only you can really determine all those factors. Now, doing all the research and trying to learn all that stuff, that's huge. For me, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I was kind of born into music. Music was huge in my family, so I've been exposed to a bunch of music goodness, and and that's just something that I love to do, and I am very hungry. I've been doing this for so long, and I am still very hungry for knowledge. I want to know everything about the recording studio. I want to know everything about my favorite records. How did they make it? How long did it take? I want to know all that stuff. So if you have that energy and you have that drive and you really want to get it done, I suggest you keep on following your passion and don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. So thank you to all the noobs out there for making this video possible. No disrespect. We all start somewhere. Thank you for watching.